And now a word from our sponsor, All Natural Plutonium Tonic. The one libation that will leave you aglow. Good for the skin, good for the hair, good for the constitution, good for libido, good for the American people. All Natural Plutonium Tonic will have you radiating good health. Say goodbye to those painful doctor visits. There's an elixir for that. This all-natural phenomenon cures gout, skin tags, rosacea, hair loss, poor disposition, feminine hijinks, talking to children, weak orgasms, ugliness, social awkwardness, dementia, premature ejaculation, flatulence, the list goes on and on.
From the makers of Uranium Mouthwash, remember, if your gums start to swell, you're doing well. When you grow an extra tongue, your job is done.
Right! You're now tuned in to Dubious Conclusions.
And in the end, I would be behind her like this, her ass clapping my thighs.
Did she try to resist at all?
I mean, how could she? She was my maid after all.
Gentlemen. Here we are, gentlemen, and thank you for gathering together in order to celebrate the outstanding achievements of Sir Dan Everett of Clive Street. He is an award-winning scientist, explorer, dog breeder, scholar, and author. He has been knighted by our Queen and was recently voted most handsome bachelor in England, with special accolades awarded for his mustache's thickness and virility. You have all been invited here because you have a particular story you would like to share about Mr. Everett on this occasion of naming him chair of this prestigious explorers fraternity. Presently, Sir Everett has yet to arrive, but perhaps we should begin without him. He hardly needs us to remind him of his own achievements, now does he?
He's probably off in the Serengeti, keeping Mr. Jeffers from pissing off the lions. Or worse, the natives.
Oh, he's with your wife.
Yes, can I help you? No, I'm sorry. Can't you see we're in a meeting? No woman allowed, thank you.
Who was that, BUCKSBEE?
No one, Dr. Martin, just the maid. Must have forgotten what time it was.
Right, where were we? Mr. Oliver, if you would be so kind as to start us off.
I was in Scotland, on the shores of Loch Ness, on my 105th bi-weekly search for the elusive monster Nessie. Now, as my troops and I tramped down to the shore, a shimmering along the opposite beach attracted our attention. We made our way around to approach the site, and to our astonishment, 100 small malamutes trotted along the coast, each with shimmering color intact. But something was afoot. Away farther, we heard tussling and grunting. A fight was underway. We rushed towards the sound, eager to wager our bets on the outcome, and were astonished at what we found. Sir Everett was rolling on the ground, fighting that diabolical Sir Kensington. Sir Everett got on top of him and put Kensington out with a singular punch to the jaw. We exchanged our monies based on the outcome, and I approached Everett. He brought me a collection of open metal cages and explained that Kensington was planning on using the puppies as bait to lure the monster off the shore. The fiend! Everett, an upright gentleman, would not have it, so he released the dogs and beat Kensington in fisticuffs. The dogs then proceeded to swim into the lake and assemble a complete skeleton of the Loch Ness monster, solving a timeless mystery for ages. He subsequently adopted the puppies and began work on making competitive sled team. For these great deeds, I am humbled to have paid witness. The man is truly deserving of any position or honors that we bestow upon him.
Yes, can I help you? Look, we've already told you that this is not... I'm sorry, but you'll have to go. Don't you have that suffragette meeting nonsense you have to attend to? Jesus, this woman will not let up.
Doesn't she have cleaning that needs to be done elsewhere?
Like cleaning the sheets after I had your wife.
Now, in hopes of no more feminine interruption,
I have a tale to share.
Ah, Mr. Humphreys, you may proceed.
Everett was in the company of myself and my team as we explored uncharted tributaries of the Amazon River and its rare and forbidding beauty. A dazzling school of fish surrounded our raft. Their beautiful blue and yellow stripes shined up through the clear waters. I'd never before seen this fish, but I had read about them from the collected biography of Sir Jeffreys. In volume 16, he described the fish known as the ik-ik, a sort of local legend known for its mesmerizing beauty and their deadliness. You see, these fish attract prey with their beautiful colors and their beguiling movement. When the prey comes into the water, they strike, subduing their victims by swimming directly up their anus. And now, against my will, I felt faint and slid overboard, sure to become the next anal feast of these vile creatures. But as I lay floating, drifting in and out of consciousness in the swift river, the sun was suddenly blotted out. Sir Everett had jumped into the air and made the most manly and dignified swan dive I had ever witnessed. He swooped in with his meat pie hands and lifted me up from below and threw me back onto the raft, thanks to the strength and sheer skill of Sir Everett.
What a thrilling tale.
Certainly, Dr. Head.
Well then, where's Everett? He should be here by now. Ah well, BUCKSBEE, you have a tale to share.
Well, I'm hesitant to tell it, as it does a disservice to my own pride. But, seeing as it is indeed a testament to the manly selflessness of Sir Everett, I shall relay it all to you here. In confidence, of course. It was the Arctic expedition of 1899. I was young then, and naive. Our aim was to be the first to reach the pole, but we found ourselves nowhere near it. Our ship struck an ice floe en route, and we were forced to abandon her for the icy shore. What little provisions we had went quickly. Men lost limbs to the cold, and some minor cannibalism. But who among us hasn't had a little human flesh in times of desperation, When things were at their most dire, I crawled into a cave and tucked myself into my sleeping bag and prayed for death. But death didn't come. I awoke to warmth and a slight nudge. Whiskers and a wet tongue ran over my mouth. I awoke to realize that a walrus was spooning me and was attempting to copulate with my backside. I tried to wriggle myself away, but it wrapped its flippers around me. Just then, the sounds of loud barking echoed into the cave. Everett and his Malamutes had sniffed me out. I learned later he had received my letter and left the Iditarod some 400 miles away to come to my rescue. He jumped off his sled and ran full force at the beast. Knife in hand, he cut off its tusk and pried the beast off of me. He fed me warm toast and tea from a thermos and sledded me back to his own vessel, where a rescue party awaited. Thus Everett saved me from what would have been a rather regrettable one-night stand.
For Christ's sake. Please stop knocking.
Right.
Well, to close us out, in anticipation of Sir Everett's arrival, I'd like to relay a short tale of my own. I'll spare the details because I know we were all there. It was the first time I met Sir Everett, during a battle against the Zulus. I took a spear to the back, my legs had gone gammy. We were surrounded. There was nowhere to go. Everett saw me and rose up, and without any hesitation, put me on his back and walked miles through the lines of fire to safety. It was something that will never be seen again. I would gladly lay my life down for this man, without hesitation. I would entrust my family to him. I would entrust my children to him.
As would I.
As would I.
And that is why he's going to be the chairman of our fraternity of explorers. A man among men. What the blazes do you think you're doing? Women don't belong in here, let alone the maid.
God damn it, just listen to me! Your precious Sir Everett is dead!
My word!
What?
You heard me! He's dead!
How could this have happened? He survived the Bleeding Sahara and he dies in London? He was a national hero, for God's sake!
He tried to slip his finger up a woman's skirt on Whitechapel and he got a knife in the groin for it. Serves him right, the old perv. I had a mind to do it myself on a number of occasions. The prideful bastard tried to walk here and bled out all over Main Street instead of going to hospital. He made it all the way to the front step before collapsing, and I saw him as I was leaving from my suffragette meeting. That's when I knocked the first time. I went and got a doctor. He said all he needed was a blood transfusion from someone of good stock. I came to tell you, dumb bastards, but oh no, you're too busy in here waxing your mustaches and sucking each other's cocks to listen to a woman at your super special club. Oh, and Oliver, you'll be happy to know they found a naked cum-stained picture of your wife in his trousers.
Julia?
Perhaps this is an inappropriate moment, but will we be accepting new nominations for the chair position?
I wake up every morning and have a cup of tea. Marmalade on toast for breakfast, it's the life for me.
Here we are, deep underground in the Dubious Conclusion bunker. This episode was written by Jeremy Stebens, performed by Shayne Kamat, Austin Friend, Michelle Lee, and the fabulous Ethan Minsker. That is me, and Jeremy. The theme of Dubious Conclusions is that our audience has the option to come up with a better ending. If you have a better ending, email it to us at dubiousconclusions@gmail.com, or send us a message on Book of Faces. You can find our fan page, Dubious Conclusions. Please give us a rating, subscribe to us, and tell your friends. From all of us at Dubious Conclusions,
Pastime, cucumber sandwiches.
are we recording? Fucking asshole. Alright. Don't leave all the shit in either. You are gonna leave it in. Don't leave this in. I'm telling you. Cut this shit out.
Works just as well to take me on to supper and have a lovely meal. A 5-course spread with quail's eggs, and I simply must have